Stephen Levy's helmet cam was rolling as he sat at a red light on PCH, waiting to make a left on Canaan Doom, when out of nowhere, this happened.
Welcome to another episode of Riding with the Ruach, and as usual, I'm going to ask you to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And in this episode, I'm going to ask, is riding a motorcycle worth the risk? It's a thrill, but is it worth the risk? There's a lot of people out there, jackasses like this, that won't wear helmets. I pray that they learn from this video. I'm your host, Kahan Tell the Doc, and you're now riding with the Ruach.
Let's watch it again in slow motion. A black car flies down Canaan and slams into this truck. The truck then goes flying straight into Stephen. The driver of the car died in a fiery collision.
Okay, who needs to watch this video? If you're a novice, you need to watch this video. If you've been riding a motorcycle for 20 years and you haven't ridden for a while, you need to watch this video. If you taught yourself to ride a motorcycle, you've never taken a motorcycle safety training course, you need to watch this video. If you're one of those people that have all of this experience, but you're stupid enough to ride around without a helmet or protective gear, you need to watch this video. If you're a female rider and you try to ride around and be cute with no protective gear, you need to watch this video. So, in fact, anyone that wants to see how real this could get and how dangerous and risky motorcycle riding really is, need to watch this video. And I urge you, leave your comments below on this video. And if you know someone that's experienced a fatality, my prayers go out to you. Okay, riding a motorcycle is undeniably extremely dangerous. It's extremely exciting, but it's very dangerous considering the distracted drivers, and then you get riders that sometimes are damn near inebriated yet have the audacity to get on a motorcycle. Sadly, motorcycle riders, unbeknownst to many of them, we are 28 times more likely to lose our lives in a fatal driving crash compared to other motorists that you see on the roads. We are also 4 times as likely to sustain an injury in a collision than other motorists. So these motorcycle accidents are due to risky behaviors on the riders and on the other people, the other motorists. Let's look at some of the statistics. Let's talk about some of the statistics. This is me right here, Kahan Tell the Doc. I'm riding in downtown Atlanta. And so as I ride, I'm going to talk to you. You can watch the scenery, but stay focused on what I'm saying here. Now, motorcycle riders are more exposed and we're less protected while we're on our motorcycles, our bikes, while we're on the road. So I'm going to look at some of the statistics with you real quick, right? So now motorcycle riders are 28 times more likely to die and 4 times more likely to be injured. 4 times more likely to be injured in an accident. Motorcycle riders have far less protection when it comes to a crash, which actually contributes to a significant higher risk of fatalities and injuries. Motorcyclists face 28 times the chance of dying in a fatal accident compared to those in passenger cars and trucks. We also face 4 times the injury risk. Let me reemphasize that. 83,000 motorcyclists were injured in 2021. In 2021, a total of 83,000 motorcycle riders sustained injuries. A total of 468 injuries occurred per 100 million vehicle miles traveled over the course of that particular year. Now, more than a third of motorcycle accidents involve unlicensed drivers, right? Motorcycle accidents often involve untrained drivers. A lot of you people are riding motorcycles like Eric White. You don't have a motorcycle license. And if this cuts you, it needs to. Many of you don't have motorcycle license. You've taught yourself to ride and you know how to ride the bike. But when it comes to making strategic turns and, making wise suggestions, you haven't been trained to do that. And you're generally involved in the accidents because you take unnecessary risks. Now, this is minus when the other driver is actually negligent. So many of you out there do not have a motorcycle's license. So an estimate, 36% of fatal motorcycle accidents involve riders who do not have a valid motorcycle license. That's a high percentage. Now, some states require a license, a motorcycle license. Some states requires just like a supplementary endorsement to a standard driver's license. So motorcycles are usually required to pass both a written test and a driver's test on a motorcycle to actually earn that endorsement. Now, what's the most dangerous what's the most dangerous month for motorcycle riders? Believe it or not, it's the month of August. And August is the most dangerous month for motorcycle riders. And I want you guys to keep this stuff in mind. And leave your comments below why you think August is the most dangerous month. Motorcycle accidents, according to statistics, show that the risk of a crash is not in a uniform year all round, right? In other words, it's not a uniformity all year round. Some months there are more crashes than others. In fact, the month of August is the most dangerous month for motorcyclists, with 12% of all fatal motorcycle crashes occurring in the month of August. So by contrast, only 3% of fatal motorcycle crashes happen in January, which is the safest month. And you think it's cold, right? So obviously it's not as many people out. So my synopsis is that it's probably because there's a lot more people out in August. So the better the weather is, when it's summer, when it's warm, it explains that these months present the highest risk for deadly accident. Now, few motorcyclists are hurt in the rain. Why do you think that is? It's because a lot of motorcyclists don't ride when it's raining. Why there are less collisions in the rain? Because a lot of people that ride motorcycles tend not to ride when it rains. Less than 2% of motorcycle accidents happen when it's raining. That's a good thing. In fact, it is a good thing. Now let's look at the fatality statistics, because you see me on my bike and I love this, right? But you got to be safe. Someone was watching one of my other videos and said, well, who's that with his head on a swivel? I said, hey, that's me. You darn right. You damn Skippy, my head's on a swivel, because you got to look out for the negligent. I pass people all of the time. They're texting while I'm passing them. I blow my horn at them. They got that head down. As you saw the incident when this car ran in back of a motorcycle rider at the red light, right? That person right there, to me, that's manslaughter. If you don't survive that, if you do, that person needs to be severely punished, because you really need to do something to get their attention to ensure that they don't do that again, because a life is on the line. Look twice, save a life. So there were 5,932 motorcyclists killed in the year of 2021. 2021 was a bad year for motorcycle riders, right? Whole COVID thing, right? We're still out riding motorcycles. A total of 5,932 were killed in fatal traffic accidents, right? This was the highest number of motorcycle accidents deaths since the fatality analysis reporting system first started in 1975. 2021 being the most devastating year. What is that going to say? Motorcycle crashes are getting worse. Why do you think that is? You got these people on their cell phones. You got people distracted doing all type of things when they should be keeping their damn eyes on the road. So I'm urging you, family, be safe out there. Keep both tires on the road. Keep your head on a swivel and pray before you go out. Because every time we get on one of these bikes, we don't know if we're coming back. And make certain that you get some insurance if you don't have any. Now, motorcycle accidents account for 14% of all traffic deaths. Now you're saying, tells a doc, that's not bad. Well, it may not seem bad until you realize that motorcycles are only 3% of registered vehicles. So if you're only 3% of registered vehicles and 14% of all traffic deaths are someone on a motorcycle, that's woefully sad. Motorcycle crashes account for 17% of all occupant fatalities and 3% of all injuries to vehicle occupants. 2,251 motorcycle accidents occurred when they were not wearing a helmet. 2,251 motorcycle accidents occurred when they were not wearing a helmet. You think that's cool, right? It suffices to say that you're actually stupid and you're putting your life on the line. Failure to wear a helmet is one of the biggest risk factors for motorcycle riders. In fact, 2,251 motorcycle accidents fatality occurred when riders were not wearing a helmet. Helmets help to protect against head injuries, which have a high fatality rate. 34% of motorcycle fatalities involve speeding. Like that rush, right? Driving too fast is another risk factor. More than a third of fatal motorcycle accidents, 34%, involves motorists traveling at excess speed. Driving too fast literally increases the risk of a collision due to increased stopping distance and decreased control. It also increases the risk that a crash that does occur will be fatal because of the crash energy, and the forces increase as speed increases. Listen, family, be safe out there. Keep both tires down. Keep your head on a swivel. Think about getting back home to your family if you have one. 27% of motorcycle accident deaths involve alcohol. I don't drink. I've never drank. If you drink, that's your business. But don't be a jackass and drink and get on a motorcycle. I mean, it's bad enough getting in a car, but on a motorcycle? Are you serious? So we have 27% of motorcycle accident deaths involve alcohol. Drink, and then you get on your bike. Are you stupid? Drinking and driving is a well-known risk factor for all types of accidents, including motorcycle collisions. More than a quarter of deadly motorcycle accidents, 27%, were alcohol-involved crashes. These include single vehicle accidents, which accounts for 41% of alcohol-impaired motorcycle crashes, which resulted in 880 motorcycle deaths in 2020. So by contrast, just 18% of alcohol-impaired motorcycle crashes were multi-vehicle accidents, although this accounts for 556 deaths of motorcycle riders during that same year. Alcohol-impaired motorcycle crashes, they increase at night, which is obvious, right? Drunk driving increases during the evening hours. So you go to your little motorcycle clubs, you're partying, you rode your bike there. How are you going to get home? You're going to ride that motorcycle home, putting your life at risk and other folks' lives at risk. And so this is making it especially dangerous for motorcyclists who are involved in accidents. 40% of alcohol-impaired motorcycle crashes deaths occur during the evening hours. Why? Because you're out partying at your motorcycle club. Motorcycle accidents are 3 times as likely to involve an impaired driver during the nighttime compared to the day. Why? Again, because you have your club meetings at night, you go and party, and then you get on the bike. And you put your life at risk, and you put others' lives at risk. On the weekend, the most common time of day when motorcycle fatalities occur is between 6 and 9 p.m. 6 and 9 p.m. Weekend evenings are even more dangerous. These are dangerous times on the road. You got a total 24% fatal motorcycle accidents happen between 6 and 9 p.m. with 676 deaths occurring during just this time period alone. During the week, the most common time of day when motorcycle fatalities occur is 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Sounds like the rush hour traffic, right? Crashes happen earlier on weekdays, and I surmise this is because more motorcycle riders are on the road earlier during the commuting hours during the week, during the work week, right? So you got a total 26% of motorcycle fatalities occurred between 3 and 6 p.m. during this period. So you had a total of 1,263 deaths occur. There were 30,263 more car accidents than motorcycle accidents in 2020. So although motorcycle crashes are more dangerous than car accidents, there are fewer of them. Why? Obviously, there's fewer motorcycles. In fact, there were 30,263 more auto accidents in 2020 than motorcycle accidents during that same year. Now, of course, this doesn't mean drivers of cars are more likely to be involved in crashes. The fact of the matter is there are significantly more car accidents than motorcycle accidents simply because there are many more cars than motorcycles on the road. 76% of motorcycle accidents are collisions from the front. 76% of motorcycle accidents are collisions from the front. Helmets significantly reduce the risk of fatal motorcycle accidents, especially when the helmets are in compliance with the Department of Transportation requirements. So that's why it's good news that the majority of people who ride motorcycles should wear them. This includes 67% of riders and 52% passengers. 6% wear a non-compliant helmet while riding a motorcycle. If you're riding a motorcycle and your helmet doesn't have the Department of Transportation sticker on it, you shouldn't be using that helmet. Did you know it's mandatory for helmets made in the U.S. to have that in it? And if you're using one of those, that helmet is literally unauthorized. Do you understand? Helmets are 37% effective in preventing fatalities for motorcycles. So wear a helmet. And although helmets do not prevent every motorcycle accident death, they are fairly effective at reducing the likelihood of fatalities. For every 100 motorcycle riders who lost their lives in accidents, 37 could have been saved if they had a helmet on. If they had a helmet on at the time of the accident. Now, there are 18 states that require motorcyclists to wear helmets. That's not a lot out of 52. So, although motorcycle helmets save lives, only a small number of states require all riders to wear them. In those locations with a broad mandate for helmets include these states that I'm about to name: Alabama, California, the District of Columbia, Georgia, Louisiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Mississippi, Nebraska, Nevada, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Oregon, Tennessee, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, and West Virginia. Now, there's 3 states that have absolutely no motorcycle helmet law required. Those states are Illinois, is where Jeremiah Banks is, Iowa, and New Hampshire. Now, 29 states require helmets use under a certain age. But if you're an adult, you don't have to wear it. And so, the majority of state law helmet laws that fall in the middle is a total of 29 locations in the United States. They require helmets for motorcycles under a certain age. And the specific requirements vary by state, with some mandating helmets use for riders under the age of 17, 18, 21, or 25, depending on the state. Now, here are rules by state for helmets are mandatory. 17 and under, you have to wear a helmet in Alaska, Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Hawaii, Idaho, India, Kansas, Maine, Minnesota, Montana, New Mexico, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. If you're under 18, Delaware is the only state. If you're 20 and under, you have to wear a helmet in Arkansas, Florida, Kentucky, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Texas, and Utah. If you're 25 and under, you have to wear a helmet in Missouri. So, motorcycle crash victims, you must understand the laws applicable where the collision occurred. Collision victims should actually contact an experienced motorcycle attorney in their particular location where their crash took place to get help pursuing a claim for compensation. I pray that it doesn't have to come to that. Find out how to find the best attorney in your state where you live. You could Google something like the best New York motorcycle accidents attorney, the best Chicago motorcycle accidents attorney, and so on and so forth. Now, states without motorcycle helmet laws obviously has a higher risk of fatalities. Since the helmets prevent motorcycle deaths, it should not come as a surprise that these states that don't require the laws have a higher rate of fatalities. In fact, 57% of motorcycle riders who lose their lives in states with no helmet laws were not wearing head protections when the accident occurred. So by contrast, in states where helmet laws are mandated, just 11% of motorcycles who lost their lives in accidents were not wearing a helmet. Folks, put on a helmet. Put on a helmet. Don't be stupid. Don't try to look cool. Is that worth your life? Is that worth you riding off in that big caddy? Do you really want to go out like that? Well, that's a brutal death. That's a brutal death. It's bad enough that we get on these things for the adrenaline rush. You see me, I'm gliding through my head on my twin. My African twin right here. Doesn't look like I'm going that fast, but I'm probably rolling around 80 on my twin. Now, the state with the least motorcycle accidents is Alaska. And that's one of the coldest, right? Alaska is the least deadly location for motorcyclists. Just 6% of deadly accidents in Alaska involve motorcycle riders. The fatality rate may be especially low in Alaska, again, because of the climate. Right? It's cold. It's too cold to ride a motorcycle lots of the time. Now, let's look at the motorcycle accidents by location so you can know what's going on in your location. And leave your comments under the video. Have you been involved in a motorcycle accident? Are you one of the people to say, hey, I had to lay it down, man? I was going this fast and I was going too slow. I had to lay it down. Pay attention to what you're doing. Go out and practice the basic skills. Never think that you're getting too good on the bike. 35% of motorcycle fatalities happens at intersections. Some locations are the deadliest. They're deadlier than others. More than 1/3, 35% of motorcycle accident deaths occur at intersections. When you go to an intersection, be sure to look before you're entering that intersection. Look both ways. Right? To your left, to your right, straight ahead. Right? Slow down when you enter an intersection. You never know who's going to pull out in front of you. Be prepared to react. Each time that I enter an intersection, I be prepared to react, because you never know if some jackass is going to pull out in front of you. Intersection can be dangerous due to many vehicles coming together. And because of their small size, motorcyclists, you may not be visible. You may not be visible, especially by these distracted drivers. They could turn right in your path. And the driver could also underestimate how fast the motorcycle is going. Next thing I like to point out is that 67.42% of motorcycle fatalities happen in urban areas, inner cities, right? Urban areas are more dangerous for motorcycles compared to like the suburbs, a suburban area, or obviously a rural area. Almost 7 in 10 motorcycle accidents occur in urban areas, while just 32.58% happens in rural roads. So higher traffic and more condensed streets explain why motorcycle accidents are more likely to occur in urban areas. Be safe. Be safe. Watch out for them. They may not be watching out for you. With suburban or rural locations, there are fewer people on the road, and the roads are typically wider, and there's more open space. Most motorcycle fatalities happens on non-interstate roads. So you have people like D. Raj representative and other people, oh, you been on the interstate yet? Well, the interstate is not the most riskiest place. It's these streets that you typically see me riding on a lot. It's these inner cities streets like right now when I'm in traffic. It's not the interstate. It's not the interstate. Do you understand, D? Do you understand? Interstates are the safest place for motorcycle riders. And they told you been on the interstate? When I go on the interstate, I say, yo, this is easy. That's the safest place. Only 8% of motorcycle accidents occur on the interstates. Well, how you like that, D? And this is how you know when someone has taught themselves primarily to ride, because they think the interstate is the most dangerous place. It's the inner city where you see Kahan tells a doc, you see how traffic is going both ways here? And I get stuck in traffic. Sometimes you guys see me stuck in traffic. I got cars in back of me, in front of me, and to my side. You don't know what one of these idiots are going to do. So my head is like a bobblehead on a swivel. 25 to 29-year-olds are most likely to die in a motorcycle accident. Sad but true. Motorcycle accidents, death predominantly occur among younger people. The majority of motorcyclists who lost their lives in fatal crashes were between the age of 25 and 29. In total, 706 people within this demographic group lost their lives in the year 2020. This is more than any other group. These young drivers have less experience, and they're more likely to take risks, both of which explains their higher rates of death while riding. You guys better wise up. Now, men account for 92% of motorcycle deaths. Men are significantly more likely to lose their lives in a motorcycle accident. In fact, while 5,112 men died in motorcycle accidents in 2020, only 460 females lost their lives during that same year. Females made up just 8% of deadly motorcycle accident victims. 99% of male motorcycle deaths are the driver. When men die in motorcycle accidents, they most likely are the ones operating the motorcycle at the same time of the collision. Of the men who died while riding in 2020, 5,084 were driving a motorcycle at the time of the incident. Just 26 were passengers at the time of the fatal crash. These male passengers account for only 1% of all male motorcycle deaths. 61% of female motorcycle deaths are passengers, right? So while men who die in motorcycle accidents were more likely to be driving at the time, the opposite is true for women. Only 39% of fatal motorcycle accidents involving females occurred when the woman was driving. These accidents account for about 178 deaths in 2020, while 282 women who died on motorcycles were passengers at the time of the incident. Motorcycle accidents and fatalities have increased 20% over the last decade. The road has actually become substantially more dangerous. Motorcycle riders in recent years. In 2011, just 4,630 fatal motorcycle accidents occurred compared to 5,579 in 2020. Many factors, including the risk in distracted driving, smartphones, and all of this, caters to this. Hey guys, be safe out there. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep both tires down. I'm Kahan Tazadak. I'm out.
This happened. Let's watch it again in slow motion. A black car flies down Canaan and slams into this truck. The truck then goes flying straight into Stephen. The driver of the car died in a fiery collision.
It is my prayer that you take heed to this video, that you've learned something from this video, and this actually encourage you to exercise more safety when you're out on these roads, when you get on your motorcycle. Be safe. Don't be a victim. Don't be a show-off. Don't be man down. And don't end up like what you're seeing in these photos here. This could be you. Always wear a helmet. Always wear protective gear. I don't give a damn how hot you are. Put on protective gear. If I'm just going up the street to the gym, I still see this guy on his, see how he was, and you see him in the wheelchair. I don't care if I'm going up the street to the gym, I'm throwing on protective gear. Put on some nice armored pants, some upper body gear. Don't worry about other people teasing you. The spirit of Ha Adonai is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives and recovering of sight to the blind, to set liberty them that abuse. Hallelujah. Allah. And be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. Remix. Worldly Negroes, they have the world. When the spirit now I can.
I'm talking to you worldly Negro. This is a warning for say people. Steady dealing poison to your people. When it comes to your brother, murder she wrote. Talking to you worldly Negro. This is a warning for say people. Steady dealing poison to your people. When it comes to your brother, murder she wrote.
I'm talking to those worldly Negroes. Can't tell them nothing. Too big of an ego. Idolized rappers. Getting caught behind Rico. More to life than 10 commandments. How many you know? More to life than bust downs and dime them hoes. More to life than Louis belts and Gucci clothes. Expand your thoughts. Past a 10-block city zone. Beefing over property you don't even own. Ready to shoot at ops while it's ruthless cops get away with murder. Eye for eye for Jake, but police brutality, you don't hear no burners. I'm my brother's keeper, speaking to another man's wife. Are you a cheater? Brother transgress against you. Speak up man to man. Man of Yahweh, that's how you stand.
I'm talking to you worldly Negro. This is a warning for say vivo. Steady dealing poison to your people. When it comes to your brother, murder she wrote. Talking to you worldly Negro. This is a warning for say vivo. Steady dealing poison to your people. When it comes to your brother, murder she wrote.
True disciples of Christ just birth hip-hop a future. Worldly Negro spit gibberish. Dilute your mind with pollution. Should be a crime. Each time a worldly Negro rhyme. In the Boreal, mommies be like,
Kahan tells the dog he's so cute though. We love you, Poppy. Te quiero mucho.
the man's wanna shoot, so I let him know. I'm not sweating your rib. This is righteous rebuke, bro.
Tells the dog what set you claiming.
T-Doc is neutral, Yahuwah's unit, and we're slinging salvation. When the spirit now, they look at us like spacemen. We speak truth to nations, haters keep on hating. Hip-hop heads are waiting for our next album to fly, like it's the second coming of Yahweh Shah. Worldly Negroes bust guns, believers look to the sky. Evil E's advertising pussy, less than in hissing. Want a high-value man, but can't get this one. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, for all your upliftment. Worldly Negroes got paralysis if you're not feeling this, son.
I'm talking